Hey guys, thanks for watching, and in this video I'm going to show you how to paint a Christmas wreath. First thing first, let's draw a circle. You can edit the shape and make it a full circle. Center it and maybe lock the layer so we will not move it later. Go to the canvas, turn on your drawing guide and make sure it's under symmetry, radial option. Turn on rotational symmetry and assisted drawing. In your new layer, make sure assisted drawing is toggled on. Go to bamboo and let's draw a few twigs using a light brown color-ish. There you go. Now in the new layer without assisted, I'm going to draw some leaves using Abby's brushes, Inky Wash. You can use any brushes here, the ones that you use for leaves. Reason why I turned off the assisted button is so that each of my leaves will be organically different. So you're going to spend some time here and don't worry about the shape of the leaves. This is probably going to be a good exercise for you to practice. So I'm going to speed up this video a little bit and you can pause and take your own time to figure out different leaves, shapes and sizes. I picked a light brown color because I wanted this leaves to look a little bit more winter-ish. So you can pick any color that you prefer, something green or blue, it's really up to you. I guess we're almost there. After this step, we were still going to blend it so that it will soften some of the edges as well. If you guys are still considering to get Abby's brush, I would say just get it because it's really worth the investment. Not forgetting you can get 30% off using slowlivecreate coupon. So when I'm done here, I'm going to select. So I'm going to make sure I select the leaves, copy and paste. Now you can see that the color looks a bit darker. Go to multiply and merge all three layers. Remember to toggle off the drawing assist so that you can blend each leaf on its own and not repeating the pattern. This is going to take some time, so again I'm going to speed up this video and pause whenever you need to, so don't worry about how slow you're going to take. Everyone has their own process. So I'm really actually very nervous about this voiceover. Not so sure how I'm gonna sound, but I'll try my best. Now that I'm done, on the new layer, turn on drawing assist. I'm gonna do some repeated pattern. Let me close this first. Using the stain merger by Abby brush. Again, you can use any Procreate brushes that you have here. So for those who do not have Abby brushes, don't worry about it. You can still use some of the Procreate ones to substitute and just focus on the technique. As long as you get confident on how to paint using the technique that I've taught, you should be able to apply it on any brushes. So here we're going to add some stronger lines. And we're going to blend it so that the lines will not be that harsh. Following this step, we will use the erase brush, bamboo, to just highlight some extra lines, and so that the leaf will look a little bit more organic too. Can you see it's more 3D this way? I'm gonna use the bamboo brush to add the stems, make it a little bit more obvious. And when you're confident and happy, you can merge them. At this point, I think I can also remove the circle guideline. Now, if you remember, on Procreate, you can downsize but not upsize. So always draw big and you can scale it smaller as you go. Now, let's draw some cherries. I'm gonna find a brush to maybe this, maybe that, or maybe this, no, maybe that. Well, as I mentioned, you can try different brush at this stage. So here I am using the water pen brush for the cherry. What I'm doing now is spotting the position of the cherries that I want it to be. If you prefer to do it the shortcut way, like how we did for the pine leaves, you can do so too. Just make sure that you toggle on the assisted drawing on the new layer. But here I prefer to have them in different little spots so that it looks more organic as well. Now once I'm done, I'm gonna use bamboo and go into the details of the cherries, rounding them more in the circular shape. And blend them too. So you can see the blending is always a very important process. Once I'm happy, I'm going to add some little reflective shadowing by using erased on the cherry. I'm probably going to go back and blend it later, but let's see. So this is going to be quite a long process. Just take the time to enjoy the process of creating. Now I'm gonna just speed it up. So if you have more time, you can actually spend detailing it, but now I'm just speeding it up. Now that I'm happy, I'm gonna just erase off a little bit of the cherry so that it looks, some of them will look hidden behind the leaves. So what I do is first I select the reef, and then I use the erase to erase on the cherry. You can do it the other way, like select the cherry and erase on the leaves as well. So this is a little bit shortcut so that you don't have to blend all of it. Now if you look closely, now you have some overlapping leaves and some cherries underneath the leaves. Once you're ready, you can merge them. And on a new layer with drawing assist, I'm going to draw some leaves. Again, repeating the same step as what we did for the pine leaves. First, you draw some twig lines, random. Oops, you see? I need to make scale my leaf down a little bit so that I got more space. Now here, once I'm done adding some stems, I'll switch off the drawing assist, copy and multi-layer it so that the stem looks a little bit darker. Using an oriental brush, which is my favorite for fern leaves, just single stroke in one direction, you get this beautiful effect. So again, I am not doing this on repeat, but if you like, you can also repeat this pattern. Just make sure that the layer is switched on with assisted drawing. If you have some time to explore Oriental brush, go ahead, because it's really a very nice brush that Procreate has. I love how naturally it looks. Just need to take some time to get used to the strokes. And I'll do what I always do, copy and paste, select, copy and paste, and now I'm ready to merge. If you're not confident to merge, you can group them first and then duplicate and merge a layer so that you can always go back to it if you feel like it. Otherwise, merging them will definitely build your confidence as you go. Now here I'm going to draw some acorns. They're not going to look so much of an acorn, but you can really Google on Pinterest and find something that you can follow. But here I'm just going to use my memory and draw an acorn looking acorn. I'm going to use Abby's brush, the stain merger, which is my favorite for leaves, for little detailing. So here is what we have always been doing. You ink it first and then use blending to shape or to color in more if you like. Switching the brush size up and down is a natural process as well. Don't forget to do it so that you can have different brush lines and stroke as you draw. Once blending is done, I can add another layer of color and blend it again. I feel like this step takes a lot of instinct. There's no right and wrong, just go with the flow. Oops. Make sure that the erase is bamboo. Just gonna erase off a little bit so that I can shape my acorn. Here you go, a mini acorn. Now repeat the same step and draw as many acorns as you like. Now I'm going to scale it down so that I have more space again. I'm going to do some blending so that the leaves and the elements in between will all look like they are all together, painted together. As you know, real watercoloring has overlaps. So you can do a little bit of that and make it look a bit soft and abstract. If you like it clean, you can skip this step. So now I'm going to select my reef and pick a light green tone. For me, I'm using the Abyss brush again. It's Blooming Seed, to just give my entire reef a different shade of color. As you can see, I'm actually darkening some of the ends. You can try different brush in this step. Basically, it's like you just hovering around it with a different color so that there's a 3D and shadowing effect. Now on the new layer, I'm gonna add assisted drawing and maybe add a little bit more of some branches. I'm very random about it right now. Now I'm going to toggle it off, select and copy and paste. Or duplicate so that the branch looks a little darker. Now I'm going to add some splatters. Now I'm very random with the splatters, so you can do that too. There's no right or wrong. You can also pick another color. For here I pick red, that's close to the cherry, and just splatter it around the cherries. Now the next step that I do is mostly for advanced. But you can slow it down and have a look why I do it. If not, you can skip this step totally. Once I'm happy, I will merge the splatter and the reef. Now liquify is actually the last step that I usually use. I love the span option that, look, it gives a little softness and watery flow to the entire artwork. So this is usually my finishing touch. Now I'm going to add a text. Merry Christmas, or Joy to the World, or Jesus loves you. Anything that you like. I'm going to pick a font that is maybe more curvy. Yeah, this one is great. Now this step, you can actually shape the text using the distort or warp option. Very simple ways of making your text look more flowy. Again, I'm using multiply, a duplicate and merge to get a darker tone. Just playing around with the blending to see what color fits best. Now I select, and I'm going to color over to make a little gradient. Can you see? Now there's a lot of trial and errors most of the time, so have fun. Yeah, I think this is good. When you're completely confident and happy, merge them. Now I still think there's something missing. So this is actually my thinking process. When I feel like something's missing, what do I do to fill it up? Maybe try a new stroke, find a new brush to use. Scale it up and down my drawing to see what's missing and what can I fill. And somehow along the line of that thinking thoughts, something will click. Now I'm going to use Stain Brushed by Abby again to draw tiny little leaves on these branches that I forgot. Again, if you like to use a repeat pattern, you can still toggle on the assisted drawing. Now I'm just being very random about it again. Just a few more. Once it's all good, we will merge. So now finally the last step. I'm using Abby's brush again for the shadow. I'm choosing the Dark Age Simple. Just going around the reef, adding a different shade of green. Once that's done, you blend. This is a very random step, so no pressure if you want to skip it, but it'd be nice to have also, or try. Now I'll bring this behind the wreath. Select the wreath, and I will erase off the shadow a little bit so that the wreath will stand out. So here you go, your first Christmas wreath. I hope you guys enjoyed my first voiceover, and give me a review to let me know where and what I lack in so that I can improve for 2022. With all my heart, I want to thank you for this year. So blessed Christmas, and I'll see you next year.